Grainy.
Turn this light on.
Let me get this shared out, guys. There you go. That's good.
She's gonna start barking right away.
Just be quiet.
Stop.
Parker, why would you do that?
She was already going to do it.
Shh. Parker, go to your room.
Oh, I'm gonna listen.
Let me see if I can get Javier on here quick before he's got to leave. Shit. Invite. Takes like a minute or two for the notifications to go out, which sucks. For people to know I'm live. All right, Javier. What's up? Carrie, how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Well, it looks like we already got like 7 people in here. I thought it'd take a little bit longer to get some people rolling in here. Sorry I'm late, guys. Had some more important things to deal with, focus on. So, Jim F., what's going on, buddy? It's been a while since we've actually had one of these community hangout chats, etc. I think the last time I did a Q&A was probably 2.5, 3 years ago at least. So I figured I'd give you guys an opportunity, newer members, some newer people in the community that have questions for me. Pretty much I'm open just about anything, whatever you'd like to ask. Bring it. Rick, what's going on? How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Hope all is well with you. You know, I've had a couple members reach out recently too, kind of going through some hard times, some tough times, if you will. So I figured it was overdue. We haven't had one of these for a little while. Garrett or George, what's going on, buddy? He's always going to say what's up. Get her head in there. So he's a member of the channel as well. She must know we're hanging out. So waiting to see if Javier is going to join or not. I just sent him a link. Hopefully he will. If anybody else wants to join the live on the panel, you guys can. Let me drop the link here in the chat. Don't feel obligated, but if you feel like you want to or you want to join, Fester, what's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Again, as people start to flow in here, we're just going to do kind of a community hangout chat stream. It's going to be whatever you guys want to kind of chat, talk about. William Carter, what's going on? Guys, like I say in these live streams, the better they're going to be is obviously with more engagement from you guys. So your guys' comments, questions, etc., are going to kind of drive or lead the stream to either make it good or make it just kind of blah boring. So I don't know if Javier is going to be able to join. He was able to join earlier. I know he had to get to soccer practice for the kids. So I dropped him a link. We'll see. Timmy. Is Tim in here too? Oh, Timmy Tea Time. What's up, brother, man? It's been a minute since I've seen you. Hope all is well with you. And again, I'm going to keep this as like a Q&A type stream as well. So if you guys have any specific questions for me in any nature, just in general, my life, my addiction, my DFS playing over the years, whatever it might be, just shoot them, throw them out there, and I'll do what I can to answer. Justin, what's going on, brother? Hey, you and a couple other people that have packages, I do apologize. I didn't have any actual team bags or graded bags to put your plastic cards in to ship them. I had the bubble mailers and everything else. I went to get everything set up, and I said, oh, shit. And so I went to look to order to see when the soonest I could get them through like Amazon or whatever, and they said it'd be today. Well, I knew I was going to be at a Walmart today, so I stopped at a Walmart while I was at an appointment, and I picked some up. So with that being said, I can get those basically packaged up and then in bubble mailers and labels made and out to you guys. So just so you guys know, I totally forgot. When I was at my sister's last Friday, I forgot to grab. That's one thing I forgot to grab. So Thought I had everything to do it, and I did not have those. So I saw Justin there. Just it's all good, man. I'll probably throw a couple extra cards in you guys' packages, whatever. I'll take care of you. It's not a big deal. Thought on Braves making a World Series run. So, Kerry, that's kind of an interesting question, actually. We got Balls joining us here. Let's get him in here. So, what's up, Balls? How you doing tonight, buddy?
What's up, man?
Not much. How you doing, little guy?
Oh, just kind of working. Figured I'd jump on. So.
Oh, you're working and on YouTube at the same time. You are a not only a gentleman but a scholar, sir. So, Carrie just had a question though, and we kind of touched on this a little bit yesterday in the beginning of the Playmaker podcast. We talked a little bit of MLB. She brings up a question about what's up, Pittsburgh? How you doing, my big brother? You want to jump on here? You got a few minutes over in Hollywood, California. You want to pop in the stream too? We're gonna come visit you sometime soon here too, man. You're what, up 2 blocks from Hollywood Boulevard? Fly out to Cali to live and die in LA. All right. How's your fur a year? Timmy T, what do you mean? My fur a year doing? What do you mean? I can't understand that question. Maybe you got to reword it. Maybe I'm just not drunk enough or high enough or whatever. What's fur? Oh, the little dog. Carrie, I'll get back to your Lana question here in a minute. The puppy is let's just say she's a little shit right now. That's the best way that you can explain her. She is 11 weeks old now. She's obviously getting very acquainted and comfortable where she's at. She likes to sit and bark half the day. She barks at Zoe to get her to play, and then she runs circles around. And she actually tries to run under the couch. And I think sometimes she forgets to duck her head and she like smacks her head and goes underneath. So yeah, it's a little interesting. But Pittsburgh, let me drop a link for you, brother. Give me a second. Get you in here as well. But going back to the dog's doing good. It's just a little shit. That's all. Best way I can explain it. A little shit right now. All right. She's our little shit though. Don't get it twisted. All right. So Carrie, we're Braves World Series. Okay. So we kind of touched on this a little bit, and I think who was it? Brady was the one that really stood out. We highlighted the 6 teams that are at the tops in each division right now, and the Braves were a team that were brought up on the podcast last night before we started talking NFL. They most definitely could make a run. I could see them getting into the series. I don't see why they couldn't. They're one of those teams that, when they get real hot, they get hot. It's kind of that momentum thing that we were talking about, Balls, yesterday that you wanted to debate me on yesterday in the podcast about momentum and confidence and feeling good. And, the team having that camaraderie, if you will. So I think there's a good chance that the Braves could. I mean, they'll be knocking on the door. I think they'll make a deep playoff run. It'll just depend on how well their pitching falls through and how well their bats are, just like with any team. So that's kind of where I see it. Pittsburgh, I did drop you the link, or it's in the chat. You can just pull it. Gate City, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. It's been a minute. Hope you are doing well. Again, guys, rest easy to our boy. Every day I'm hustling. Seeing Gate in here and seeing our boy Pittsburgh in here just kind of brings it back a little bit because they were probably the closest to him within the community. I lost my lab. Oh, no, Timmy. You lost your lab last year. That sucks. Are you going to plan to get another dog? Planning another dog? What's up, y'all? My sleeper is the Rays. You like the Rays? PSA Ray likes the Rays. That's an interesting take. Not too shabby. Rays definitely, they say, is it me or is DFS getting harder and harder each season? Not starting off. So now are you? DFS is interesting anyway. And honestly, when we're talking like NFL, I bring this up all the time. NFL is extremely difficult and it's extremely hard in the beginning of the season. Like the first couple weeks are impossible to figure out. Like I always feel like if you win or you have a good run in the first couple weeks, you had a lot more luck, and you have to have luck in DFS. Like there's no turn around it, but there's a lot of skill involved as well as how you build your lineups, what games you attack, if you're looking at the games properly, if your game game script is correct, but you have to have a lot more luck when it comes to the beginning of the season because there's so many unknowns. There are so many things that are unknown. You can look on paper and you can go, hey, this team's stacked. Okay, we'll look at the Raiders. We got Carr, we got Adams, we got Renfrew, we got Waller. They got a solid offense. We should be able to stack them. They're going to play a soft defense, or at least we think they're a soft defense for what we know so far and what we've seen. But you can see that completely flip-flop or take a turn. And when you're talking like tournaments, like your angle in a tournament has to be different. You can have some chalk, but you have to have a lot of low ownership. I talked about this yesterday when we talked about a game. I said, what I did last week, and it didn't really work out for me like I thought it would, but if it would have worked, it could have been big money, right? Is attack a game and go opposite of who you really feel like you want to play, like saying the quarterback. So like the Wentz Goff thing, right? Detroit and Washington. That was my main game that I talked about in my core four for week 2. But I was heavy on Wentz. And he wasn't that high owned. I should have actually been thinking like, hey, I should have flipped the tables though here. I should maybe build a lineup or two with Goff, Amon St. Brown, and whoever else, and then run back with somebody from, the Commanders or whatever. But that's the approach. That's how you have to take it, like especially in tournaments. If we're talking cash games, like where you're doing like 50% win, just you win double up or part of your money, that's different. You just want to play chalky players. You want to play what everybody else is playing in those lineups and hope that you have that one other guy that's different that gets you over the edge, that gets you over the 50% hump. So it's a little different. Yeah. Pittsburgh, what's up, my guy?
What's up, Dev? Good to see you, man.
How the hell you been, man? To live and die in LA. What are you doing, man?
Living the dream, man. Just
what's the temperature like in LA right now?
I don't know. It's probably like 70s or 80s. It's nice out, man. It's only 5:30 at night, so it's still good.
If I was you, I wouldn't even be on this right now. I'd be probably in Venice Beach or somewhere walking, or up in the Hollywood Hills by the Hollywood sign, screaming something.
Right over there, man.
That's so crazy, bro. Look at that. It's insane.
So, Def, here's my question.
That's seen me all too well. What's that?
Oh, sorry, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I got a question, though. We're talking, DFS and Pittsburgh. I'd love to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah.
What about season long? Because I know not everybody plays DFS here. What are you looking for, like, trends-wise? Right now, we're 2 weeks in. How do you determine like who you want to play in some of these instances? I'll give you the example my cousin brought up today. He's got a pretty deep league, 12-man league, and he's wanting to start at his flex position. Either I think his name's Dortch from Arizona, or wide receiver 3, or Tony Pollard. And while Dortch is putting up good numbers right now, one of the trends I really look at is like targets and obviously snaps in the red zone, because that's your most bang for your buck. The Arizona Cardinals have had 16 snaps in the red zone. Dortch has 1. How do you judge those type of early season numbers and kind of make these plays now? Obviously, once you see it season-wide, you're going to view those trends differently. But would you jump on somebody like Tony Pollard if you saw that info for Dortch in these first 2 weeks?
I mean, I'll start from what I would tell you, Balls, honestly, or what I would tell your buddy in this case is I would go off of what I've seen so far. And we've already seen, like, how many touches has Pollard had in the red zone, right? He got in the end zone last week, right? Like how often is Pollard being used, or how much are they bringing Zeke in the red zone versus Pollard, and how many opportunities is Pollard getting within the red zone? Because you got to remember, it's not like Pollard is just this guy that's like a backup running back that they're not really sure on, or they don't really know about, or they don't really whatever. He's a guy that they want heavily involved in their offense. Like they've almost made points to like, hey, we want to literally split the carries with these two guys. Like Zeke might have been that dude at one time, but Zeke is not just the dude anymore. It's Pollard as well. Pollard is going to be as involved in this offense as Zeke is. So that's that's kind of where I look at that. This Dortch kid. I had him in lineups in week 1. I think he did pretty decent for me. And he was like 3% owned or 2.5% owned in most lineups I had him in, because he was kind of a punt play. But that was a play that I got lucky on. Like that was, again, when I talk week 1, week 2, we don't know. Like this Dortch dude, like nobody's seen him, nobody's seen anything from him. Like it's just like it was like the last piece that fit with the way I had the rest of my build constructed. You know, when I build my lineups, I'm looking for correlation, game script, like back and forth. You know, you want to attack really like 2 games. And you, like I kind of talked about this last week, I did the reverse rolls where I went for a highest point total, and I don't always do that, but I felt like the Raiders and the Cardinals were a game that I really wanted to attack as much as everybody else did. But I said, you know what? Everybody's going to be going there. So I'm going to go mini stack in that side, and I'm going to go heavier on the Detroit-Washington game because I feel like Wentz is going to have a monster game, and I feel like St. Brown's going to do decent. And, you know, you got the likes of Dotson and some of the other guys over there at decent price. I don't know, Pittsburgh. I'm rambling too much, dude. Give us what you got. Make $1 out of 15 cents.
So I actually, to play devil's advocate, just picked up Dortch today in your Dynasty League. So I think Dortch is going to be good, but much to Fester's point in the chat, I do see once Hopkins and Moore come back, his numbers are going to go like way down. But in a week to week, like I think right now he might have a little bit more upside just based off of the fact that the guys that started in front of him are out. And Pollard still has to compete a little more with Zeke, who, most people still remember Zeke as being a workhorse back, even though he's been anything really but as of late. I think long term, Pollard definitely by far has more value. I think for like the immediate, like 1 week, 2 week, Dortch might be a sneaky play.
Yeah.
But, once, the bigger receivers ahead of him come back, I think it's going to be a lot harder to maintain that level of value for Dortch at least.
Yeah. And
honestly, I never even heard of him before like a week and a half ago.
Right. No, I know. Right. I saw him when I was building my lineup like week 1, and I'm like, all right, wait a second. Who's in Arizona right now? Who we got? Okay, this guy's at this dollar. It just fit. It fit the rest of my build, and then luckily I got lucky and he went off. And again, I say this all the time. You guys, you have to have some luck. Balls. I wish we would have recorded. I wish this was on my channel when I took down that GPP with for the 12.5 Gs a couple years ago. Because Balls was right there with me when we were like, dude, there was literally like half of a game left or something. And I had Leonard Fournette, and I had Derrick Henry, and I had Dallas Cowboys defense, right? I think that's the 3 people I had left.
Yeah, and Henry just scored on a big run, and it was like you text me, and like 30 seconds later, I was watching the other game, and Leonard Fournette caught a pass for like an 80-yard touchdown or something ridiculous.
So I was in 6th place. And you know how crazy per places jump how much you win. It jumps a lot. I was in 6th place, and I was like, okay, we're at $1,000 right now. And so I hit up Balls, and I'm like, dude, this is looking all right. I might take this thing down today. And so he starts watching the other game, and then I'm like, oh my God, Fournette just scored. And I'm like looking, and it just keeps creeping up a little bit. And dude, the intensity, I wish we would have actually went live and had us both on or whatever, and watching and keeping the score thing tab up, because it was absolutely insane. We were just going back and forth. But how great! So I had Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold won me a freaking GPP, believe it or not, guys. He was 3% owned. He threw for 300 and some yards that day and 4 touchdown passes. Yeah. 4 touchdowns, and he was under 3% owned. And that's what it takes, guys, to take it down. I've won a lot of $1,000, $500 mini things. That was the best big, because that was a $5 entry. It was a single entry, and there was just under 40,000 people in that contest. But it was single entry, and I just boom, one bullet. I had one bullet in there, and just took that thing down. But it's insane just how crazy, like, just how fast something can change or can move. You know, I mean, it's absolutely nuts. So let's I don't want to cut this off, but I want to also go back. Carrie had a question about this. Is one I think I have an interesting answer, but I want to hear you guys as well, so we can get this answer for Carrie. What is the hardest vintage set to build? And I think if we're talking baseball, like if we're talking 70s, like 60s, 70s, I would probably say like the 71 Topps baseball is probably a very tough set to build with all the different, you know how it's got the two color split, like it's got the yellow and the green, like each team. You guys know what I'm talking about? Can you guys picture the 1971 Topps baseball cards? Because they always show so much white, you know what I mean? Like around the color of the cards. So it's really hard to build that set if we're talking like build it in a decent condition or where it looks decent without a lot of white edging or whatever on the cards. I would say, in my opinion, that's one of them. The other one I think is the one that has like the all black. I don't remember what year it is, but they did archives. They did it a couple years ago in archives. Like, you know how they redo it with the new modern stuff, the same design. Because again, you deal with a card that's all black, bordering. Every little marker, every little thing shows. So I think if we're talking that, I don't know. What are you guys' takes on what you feel as far as like a tough vintage set to build?
I don't collect a whole lot of vintage, but I would assume like the key ones, like the 52 with like Mantle, and I would assume just having like, for example, like Jordan's rookie or 86 Flair. They're like Cavalier cards of like bums that are like actually like worth money because people collect the entire set. So I would imagine it'd probably be a little more difficult to collect some of those. I would imagine anything like tobacco era or cards that didn't hold up very well over the test of time would probably be a little more difficult to collect. But me personally, like I don't have like I started collecting in like the late 80s, early 90s. So the bulk of my collection like might be like 80s, 90s to today. So I have a few cards older, but the most of what I collect is a lot newer. So
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what's the NFL class that had the quarterback class in the 80s? Was it 82 or is it 84?
83.
83?
Yeah.
Split the
Well,
middle.
80. Well, wait. So 84 had John Elway, Dan Marino. Are you talking like the Elway, Marino, Eric Dickerson?
Yeah.
That would be 84.
Yeah. Their rookie year, it would have to be. I figured that's probably a little bit of a pricier set right now too, because you're looking at those rookie cards for those guys. So I mean, that's the only other set that I could really throw in there. And then obviously Peyton's rookie year. That's but yeah.
Jim Neff says 48 Bowman and 52 Topps. Well, I mean, obviously, like those are going to be your iconic sets. I guess, and that comes to mind anytime I hear somebody ask that question. No. But what I was trying to do is kind of look outside the box in more of maybe a vintage, but a closer to vintage, closer modern, not so far back, not reaching to like the 40s and 50s. You know what I mean? So I don't know. A lot of different opinions, a lot of different options. I think a lot of people would have out there as far as when it comes to the sets. Pittsburgh, while you're on here too, I want to pick your brain a little bit. What all do you got going on over in California with the whole hobby and I guess what's brewing with TGT?
So I can't really speak much on behalf of the company, but I can share that like we are in the middle of a merger with a company called Arena Club. Sure, like a lot of you guys have probably heard about it. It's a company backed by Derek Jeter. So the main reason we moved out here was to work with those guys and to, kind of help them out on like the grading end of things. So
hence is that why Derek Jeter didn't have a Twitter forever and now he's got social media and Twitter probably to help with the marketing and campaigning?
I would imagine that's part of it. I mean, I can't speak, 100%.
Right. No, I know. Have you met him at all yet or anything?
I personally haven't. I would like to, but a lot of
Right.
people in the office, have, and from what I understand, he's a super nice guy.
That's awesome, man. That is sweet. So awesome. Balls, how's the challenge going? How's the recording of the videos going?
Well, today was a rest day, so it was super easy. Nothing going on today that I really record. I didn't make a big video of it either. Get back tomorrow. Tomorrow is the beginning of the harder part of the challenge. It's more reps than anything, but not a big deal. And then 75 hard. I mean, I think today there's 9 days left. So
That's it?
yeah, and next Friday. So next Friday is the 75th day on it.
Well, I'll be on the beach in Florida.
October 1st, my birthday that's day 76. So I'm going to celebrate.
Well, I take that back. We'll have
cream.
to make sure the hurricane doesn't hit Florida. You know what day it's supposed to hit? If it does hit Florida, it's either going to hit the Gulf or it's going to hit Florida. You know what day it's supposed to hit? The 29th, the day that we fly.
So it works.
Huh?
That's how it works, man.
I know. What do you eat for breakfast, Balls? Fester just asked, what do you eat for breakfast, Balls? Anything?
I don't. I do a 16-hour fast. So
He's fasting.
I only eat between 12 and 8. And usually, I mean, I try and extend it towards like 1:30 if I can, and try and be done eating by 7:30. I mean, today my first meal was at 1:30 and my last meal was at 6:30, and I won't eat again. So it's more like a 19-hour fast today in total, but I don't eat breakfast. I keep it super, super healthy if I do eat anything, fruits, veggies, peanuts, cashews, almonds. Really stick to that kind of stuff really hard. And I think the biggest thing is everybody, like, I drink probably 1.5 gallons of water every day. You're full if you drink that much water. And then not only that, but like pick up a pop can and look at the nutritional facts and how much sugar's in that. And then you really realize, like, man, a lot of this stuff I'm just drinking, like extra sugar, extra calories, and you end up loving water, as crazy as it is. I know a lot of people are like, I don't like the taste of it, but I crave water now. If I don't drink 1 gallon of water, I feel down, like my body isn't running correctly.
One thing too, Pittsburgh, I want to get you back in the loop here too, because you're another man that's had some weight loss. You've lost quite a bit of weight too. What did you do fasting? What exactly was it that you did, or what triggered you to take the angle or do the weight loss, and how did you do it?
Yeah, so for me, it was basically just switching to a keto diet, and that's been enough to kind of do it for me. I haven't been as like hardcore with it as of like the last few months, but total I've lost close to 150 pounds altogether from the beginning of.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you document it all, like your journey? You should have, man.
Outside of like me just getting less fat in my videos, not really.
I love that answer. That's great, bro. It's good. You know what? You know what's the best part about all that, though? Honestly, is that like it's something you can say, and it can kind of be like a smile, laugh thing, because at the end of the day, it's a huge victory. It's a huge win for yourself, and it's just something that you can look back on and be like, man, like I did this. Like I did this. If I did this, I can do anything. It's kind of like the same thing with balls, man. I always get a kick out of like looking back at some of his like pictures or video things and like going, man, like even this was like in February like of this year, or this was like a year ago, and like just the difference, and just and it's like I've said in previous videos, it's not even just the difference of like how he looks physically. it's how he carries himself. It's when he's on stream. It's his confidence. It's his ability. He's kind of got, he's got a little extra pep in his step, if that's what you want to say or whatever you want to call it. But it's awesome. And, like I think these guys should be huge encouragement for anyone else that wants to get in shape or feels like they need to lose weight or feels like they need to do something, because you heard it right here, man. Pittsburgh's lost over 100 pounds. Balls, what's your pound count at right now? Do you know?
So last year on October 1st on my birthday, I weighed 298.8 pounds. Last time I weighed myself, which was at the beginning of this month, I weighed 211 pounds. So
Crazy. Yeah.
down
Awesome.
80, almost 90 pounds. My goal, I want to make it to under 200. That's my goal. I weighed 200 pounds my freshman year of high school. So I don't know if I'll make it, but I just keep working towards it. But I do want to give a shout out to somebody else. He texted me today. Man, Jimmy Guns is making some improvement too. If we can quit them, yeah, Jimmy's lost like 30 pounds, man. And same thing, if he gets on video, we're gonna see it. If we start checking, we're gonna see that improvement.
Oh, my boys. I better start getting in the gym. I can't let my boy Guns do me out here. I better start getting in that gym like I said I was going to.
He still can't.
Is he doing the bike? Did he get that bike thing or whatever?
I didn't really press him too much.
Called me and he said, listen, man, you need to invest in one of these. Like, it's got some big screen on it. You can do all sorts of things. Like, you can play people while you're working out. Like, you can literally play some kind of games and like challenge each other and stuff. Apparently, Chris from Buck City and them, they've been using this bike thing. But you do like things like online. You can like do challenges with people, and it like pushes you to do different things. It's kind of crazy.
I think it's called Peloton Death.
That's what it is. Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh hit it right on the head. So I bet you he's doing that because I think they talked him into ordering one of those. So I'm pretty sure that's what he's probably doing. And he says, apparently what he said that it's not like a normal like exercise bike, because like, usually exercise bike, like you're going to be burning calories or cutting calories and doing whatever. Like this thing literally like apparently like works like all your muscles. So it's like you're literally like working out, like you're lifting weights and stuff too, but you're really not. It's more like an aerobic type thing. So it's some pretty insane, intense little thing. So for anybody else out there, maybe looking into it, check it out. If you're looking to, I'm sure it's not cheap. I'm sure it's probably costs a couple grand if I was to guess. I don't know. I don't think you're going to be able to buy something like that for, 5 easy installments of $59.95 through your local fucking whatever, whatever online. But, if you feel like it's an investment that's going to do something and work some wonders for you, it might be something to look into. So, yeah, he texted me a pic of his scale today. Oh, he's showing the scale, but he's not showing the body yet. So maybe we'll give him a couple more weeks.
Nah, you don't have to show the body, man. Just be confident in whatever little steps you're making. He said it himself.
These guns.
He said it himself. Consistency is key. No rest days. And I always say it, man. Brick by boring brick. That's how you sculpt this, baby. Brick by boring brick.
That's really what it is, man. Rome wasn't built in a day, man. It took a long time to build. You just got to work on it. So that's for sure. That's for real. Pittsburgh. Any new pickups recently on the hobby side?
Oh yeah, man.
PC?
I'm picking up a ton of stuff.
Let me guess. Let me guess. The newest member of your PC. Just let me guess a name real quick. Let me see if I can think of a guy. He might have a nickname like the Spider. Donovan Mitchell, maybe. He used to play for the Jazz over in Cleveland now. Dude, absolutely. They are stacked over there, dude. What the hell? You guys got 3 stacked guards. You guys trying to make a run or what? You guys trying to win a chip or what's going on over there?
That's the goal, man. That's the goal.
Fuck. I can't believe that, dude. I don't even know how they pulled that off. When I saw it, I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was just telling my buddy Marty, I was like, can you imagine if somehow they would like get the opportunity to draft Ronnie and then like LeBron would come back and play the 3 on that team? It would not be fair.
Right. No, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. One other person we can't forget in this whole little weight loss journey too is Tom T. Dude's
Yeah, I gotta see Tom T, man, because
dude's been man. You know, I will never, guys. I'm gonna share a story with you guys real quick. When we were out in Ohio, Balls was with us on this journey, right? And we were out there, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was there, but when we went to the casino, right? Remember, I did the iconic chalk talk LeBron thing in front of the casino, like it was raining, and I was like this. We got the photo of it. So when we were out there, though, like Tom T, and this was one of the coolest surprises of this trip, I think, for me, because I knew like Balls was coming. I knew a lot of you guys were going to be there, show up, whoever was coming. But like I get off the plane and like Smash and all them are, hey dude, where are you? And I'm like, hey, I don't have to worry about baggage claim. I got my carry-on suitcase, but whatever, I'm coming out. And he's like, just come out this terminal, whatever. And so I get out and I get to the van and I get in there and there's like all these dudes, Gary's in there and everybody. And I'm like saying what's up to everybody. And then Tom T, good old Tom T, like Father Hobby Tom T, is like curled up in the back of the van, and he pops up. He's like, "What's up, Def?" And I had no idea it was coming. I was like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Dude, I had to come. I made the drive," and I was like, "Sweet." So we went out to dinner that night. We ate out somewhere like downtown. We basically walked. We walked from the hotel. Smash got us like these crazy hotel rooms. They were like an executive Holiday Inn, like it was an executive like Holiday Inn. There was like 50 floors. You took an elevator, it was like it took 2 seconds to get up like 30 floors. And we get up there, and these bathrooms, they literally in the sinks, they had those little wash sprayers so you could spray your ass. Like when you took a shit or something, you could literally like spray your ass too, like the side sprayer. It was like that. It was like that high class. And so we went to the casino, and like I just remember Tom, like Balls was standing there too. Like we were trying to find a table to play, and we're all just we're having a drink except for Balls. And Tom's like, he's like, oh man. I'm like, well, dude, you want to go try to find some place? Like, oh, I don't even care, Def. He's like, dude, I'm having the time of my life just hanging out here, just standing here, just hanging out with you guys and just having a blast. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. And then we got upstairs. I finally found a table to play at, and there wasn't enough spots. And I'm like, Tom, you sure you don't want to play? He's like, no, you play. And like he was just sitting there, like standing behind me, watching me play. And he just keep asking, hey, you want me to go get you another drink? Because the servers wouldn't be coming around. I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, but I said some of the balls or someone because I started playing for a while, like I always do. And I'm like, shit, because we had the 24-hour stream the next day, like starting at like 8 or 9 o'clock. I'm like, what time is it? And I think Balls or someone was like, dude, it's like 1 o'clock. We should probably think about going now. And I'm like, crap, dude, we got to start this stream in like 6 hours or 7 hours. And so then we get outside and we're doing like the thing. We're waiting for an Uber to get there. And we talked ourselves into going to Taco Bell. So I don't even think we got back to the hotel until like 2:33. And then Paulie Junkwax, we like played a trick on Smash's on Mindy or whatever. Like, remember that, Paulie? Were you? Yeah, you were with us, Balls. We played a trick on him.
Paulie was smashed back at the hotel by like 9:30. He was so smashed.
No, but when we got back and he came in, we're like, dude, we should call Minnie and tell her, like, I should call her and be like, I have no idea where Paulie is because they know how he gets wasted. And so like he was down, he was like in the corner of the bed, like rolled over, like trying to be quiet. And I'm like, Mindy, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, we completely lost. Paulie's gone. We lost him. He got wasted and we have no idea where he is. And she's like, are you serious right now? And she's like freaking out. Like, she's like, where is Smash? And she's like freaking out, like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden you just hear Paulie. He's like rolled over on the floor, like on the bed, like wasted, just laughing his ass off. And she's like, oh my God, screw you guys. I'm like, he's fine. He's good. But yeah, that next morning was rough. Like we just had to kick it in gear. It was like go time. So I
got a question. Since we all met up in Ohio, who's one person in the hobby, if you could meet up with them tomorrow, who would you pick? And there's plenty of people. Like, obviously, you're going to have to leave somebody out.
So so are you going to say, is this in the sense of somebody I have already met or somebody I have not met? Somebody I've not actually met in
Not
person.
let's you could do both. Somebody you've met and not met. Throw them both in.
That's tough, man. But here's what I'm gonna probably say Javier, and I'm gonna say this because it's somebody I haven't met yet, right? So it's somebody. I mean, I'd love to meet everybody in the community, but his story and just like the connection with the whole when we did the interview back in the day, the in-depth interview and everything else, I just his story, like I always say, I'm somebody who I strive off of people's stories and like whether they've gone through things or went through things or battled through stuff or fought through stuff like that drives me, that pushes me. Like I like to pull things from that. I always like to. That's why I get into like interviews. People like sometimes on YouTube, even like some people that have gone through. There's I can't think of his name right now, but he was like an actor and stuff. Not like a huge name, but he got heavy into drugs, like bad, like almost died a couple times. And he did an interview like maybe a year or two ago, and I watched the interview and I was just at awe. Like by the time I was done watching, like in tears and in awe, like holy shit, like him just like being upfront and honest about everything and like what he went through, what he did, and him being lucky to be alive and everything else. So I would probably say Javier, just Guns. I mean, I've met Guns. We met at the Chicago. Well, Balls. We met him at Chicago at the National 19 or 18 or whatever it was. It seems so long ago, and it kind of actually was. But Guns, Matt, Def, Javier Carter says, yeah, Escobar season has returned. Yes, sir. Don't sleep on the high-end Holiday Expresses. They are called bathroom with a toilet and a bidet. It's a bidet.
It's a bidet.
Bidet. Is it a Biden or a bidet?
Bidet.
Let's go, Brennan. No, I'm just kidding. We're not getting political here. This isn't a political channel. All right. Where do y'all hang in Ohio? I got my sister down there in Mentor, Ohio. So we were actually downtown Ohio. And then Balls, actually, shout out to Pittsburgh. He actually got, in fact, him and Every Day I'm Hustling were supposed to go to the game. And then homeboy got COVID, right? So then
he had
like I was coming in town, so he ended up giving me tickets. He hit me up like beginning of the 24-hour stream, was like, hey, dude, I got something for you. Since you're in town, Luca's in town. I want you to go to the Cavs Dallas Mavs game. So me and Balls ended up going to that game. That was pretty cool. But Luca, he got ejected in the first half because he did one of the fist punches to the dude's junk. Like dude elbowed him or something, and he went bam, and they saw it and they're like, you're out of here. And Mark Cuban started freaking out. Mark Cuban was there on he was like courtside. You could see him. It was pretty awesome. That was a fun time. That was a good time. Sports cards. I live about 30 minutes from Ohio. What was the name of that card store we went to too? That 2-story card store that morning, the start of the stream. Anybody remember? That card store was pretty damn cool, actually. Like they had so much stuff in there. Like they had more stuff in there. They didn't even know like what they had. Like you literally walk upstairs and it was like you would just be looking on shelves and like digging through stuff. Hey, do you know if you have this? I don't know. Maybe let's go look over here. I mean, there was just I don't know. It was like a big just warehouse almost.
It was literally called Cards and Games.
Cards and Games. There you go. I don't remember what city was that in.
Paynesville.
We're in Paynesville there.
Paynesville, Ohio. So Pittsburgh, who would you choose if you could just meet somebody in the hobby?
Well, it's tough to say because there's so many people I'd really like to be able to meet and like pick their brains about things. But I mean, just being out in California, like right now, like I haven't seen like any of my normal hobby people in like forever, like the Pittsburgh people. Like, so like I have my LCS that I went to like twice a week since I was.
I muted the wrong person, I think.
It's all good.
Okay.
So yeah, if I could really hang out with anybody, like I, as much as it would be cool to like meet somebody like brand new that I've never met that like, has innovated the hobby in some way, or just somebody that like AJ Dillon would be cool, like the guy who plays for the Packers who collects cards. I just think it'd be cool to like meet somebody I didn't know like that. But personally, like just being that I haven't been around a lot of my collector friends in Pittsburgh for like the longest time, I'm really looking forward to going home around the holidays, hitting up my LCS, and just seeing like a lot of my friends. Like some of my best moments in like the last year is like just getting to meet up with Deafness at the National. You know what I mean? The year before that, getting to meet up with you guys in Ohio. So it's like getting to actually hang out with like real people in the hobby is like always my preferred method. But if I had to pick somebody fresh, I think it would be cool to like meet somebody like an AJ Dillon who like actually plays and collects his own cards. Like that'd be kind of cool.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, it's always a good time. It sucks that, like I even mentioned, kind of in my recap from the National when I did my recap video. Like, it's fun to go, but it's really taxing when the service is so terrible, right? And people are always coming and going at different times. Like me and Pittsburgh were lucky enough to link up. He was like one of the first people besides the guys I was staying with, Eloy and them, to actually link up with or run into. And like he only had so much time because he'd already been there a couple of days and he was having to catch a train to get back. So, but it's awesome the time we do get to spend. It's always a joy. It's always awesome. It's always fun. Just to be able to BS and talk. Another character that I got to hang out with was Wicked Discounts. I mean, dude, me and him, we were laughing quite a bit. We were just having a good time because we're kind of like two guys in the hobby that can be controversial, I guess, in the sense of either love us or you hate us, just for who we are and being real. But we were kind of making jokes. We're like, oh God, how many people are going to love seeing this? Like these two guys walking around together, like, probably gonna get stuff thrown at us or this or that. But that's what it's about. It's about having fun. It's about making jokes, cracking jokes, not really caring. Again, if we cared about what we thought about what other people thought of us, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be doing any of this. Like, I don't give a shit about what someone else thinks about me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm going to be me and I'm going to continue to be me. I'm going to be real. And that's just how it is. You're going to get what you see is what you get. And that's how it is. But George B says, since 8 of 622, your channel and Jimmy Gunn's channel is about the only I can find happiness. George, man, that means a lot. I mean, I think that mean a lot to Guns as well. Me and him try to, again, I guess Guns could fall in that realm too of someone that people controversial, whatever. But I guess real recognize real row with real. I don't know how else you want to put it, but it's just the way it is. And I'm honored. I'm happy that you find happiness in the channel. I hope that the videos, I hope that the Hangouts, I hope that all of this helps you or helps other people as well. Maybe gives you some inspiration, some motivation, whatever it may be, to get you through tough times, to get you to some better days, to just keep pushing you forward. Because at the end of the day, as long as you have some hope and as long as you have some fight left in you, there's always a way to get to that next level and get to a point in your life where you feel confident, you feel happy, and you feel worthy, right? The worst thing is like feeling lonely, feeling worthless, feeling like there's really some days you might think like, what's the point, or why do I continue to do this? But there's reasons why we do it. There's reasons why you're in the position you're in right now. There's reasons why you're being challenged with the challenges thrown in front of you. There's reasons why the struggles we have get put in our place. Because if they didn't, we wouldn't ever be able to learn from anything. We wouldn't be able to figure things out, as we have to through our everyday life. So, George, again, I appreciate you, man. That means a lot, and I know it means a lot to Guns as well. So, I hope you continue to get something out of this. I hope you continue to find happiness within our channels. So just thank you, man. Thank you for the support as well. So, and again, anytime, reach out. Let's see. No way. It's awesome. A small world. Oh, they're talking about Ohio. All right. Good deal, Carter. So, what else is in the world of Pittsburgh and balls? Anything?
Not a whole lot, man. Just a lot of working, just grinding. Looking forward to finally being able to take a vacation here soon. Go home to Pittsburgh for a week around Christmas time.
Well, you're always on vacation, dude. You're in California. You're right by
Pretty
Hollywood
much, yeah.
Boulevard.
I can't.
What day isn't vacation for you?
That is true. Like I could literally I can't complain. Like drive 30 minutes in any direction, you're basically at a beach. So
Yeah.
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 Coming
Yeah.
from Pittsburgh, which is very much weather like you're probably used to in Minnesota, it's a nice change of pace
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. Grammy, what's up, Grammy? Our fellow brother across the pond in Australia. How you doing, my friend? Hope all is well with you, mate. Balls? Balls. Hey,
Uh,
you talked about the goal of like one or just under 200 pounds. Dude, I'm gonna set a new goal. Once you get to 199.9 or 199.5, I want you to get down to 190. I think you could walk around 190. I bet you 185, 190. You'd be a lean, mean, ripping, don't fuck with me machine. You know that?
I already am, but yeah.
Yeah. T-Rex.
Yeah, with you saying mate like that, I'm gonna dip out the stream now. I gotta
that?
get back inside. With you saying how you doing, mate, or whatever you said like that, I gotta leave now.
Mate.
So,
Yeah, time's
no,
up.
I just thought I'd pop on for a minute, bullshit with you. I'm gonna get back to the old lady and the kids. I'll be in the chat, brother.
All right, buddy. Later.
See ya.
He's leaving us. All right. Do this differently. All right. I gotta go walk my dogs. All right. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be going much longer. We're about an hour anyway, so I think that's kind of what I planned it to be. Anybody else got any questions or anything for me tonight? Pittsburgh, you got anything questions for me on the live?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna put you on the spot on your own channel.
Oh shit, bring it, buddy.
I mean,
This is what I was hoping for. I wanted some real Q&A, like some.
What motivates you to obviously, like, you've created such a wonderful atmosphere here. Like, I would say as a viewer of your channel, most of us probably feel more like this is a community than like a channel that like we go to like watch like, regular stuff. It's something we can actually engage in.
Yeah.
What actually motivated you to cultivate that type of atmosphere as a creator? Because I mean, honestly, as a creator, I've seen so many other creators cultivate the atmosphere of whatever gets the most clicks or the most views. But you've genuinely, like, at least from an outside perspective, taken it upon yourself to like really build something like, that has an emphasis on community. And, as somebody who like really values those type of like, that type of thing. Like, I was just wondering, like, what motivated you to like do that?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, it's to me, I don't think it's really a tough answer or something tough to question. As I give you my answer, I'm gonna step back and I'm going to think about that email that was sent to me, on Saturday night from a fellow community member stating how, don't apologize for taking time away, or not being able to make a stream or doing a live, or sometimes like you can be anchored down from the community or people. Like maybe sometimes they may expect too much out of you or something, because and in all honesty, that's because of, like you said, that's kind of the way I've built my channel in this community, the way that I like it. And my biggest thing that I always push back to, or I always look at, is it's because of the people, right? Because there's a lot of you, or most of you, a lot of you have been around since the start of it, or a few years back or whatever, but have hung around, have stayed around. And because of you guys like showing up and helping the live streams, helping the 24-hour streams, being involved in the 24-hour streams. You know what always shocks me is every time I do a 24-hour stream, the amount of engagement that I have from like the weirdest hours, like from like 3 a.m. in the morning to like 7 a.m., where when you think about trying to do one of these things, especially for the first time, your biggest fear is what's going to happen when you're live. Early in the night, you got the energy, right? What's going to happen when you get late into the night and you start to kind of, you need that second win and you get tired? How is that going to look? Is there going to be even anybody there? Is there going to be anybody watching? Like, is there going to be any engagement? Or are you literally just going to be like staring at the computer and there's no point in you talking or saying anything because you don't have anybody interacting or chatting with? And the amount of engagement that you get going back again just to the people, like it's ultimately the people. And when you start to like build relationships with people, like actually getting to know them, if you go to like back to when I first started really live streaming, when I'd go walk like in Minneapolis and I walked that Stone Arc Bridge. Remember that? Like we did the Stone Arc Bridge walk and we did all those live streams. They're all on the channel if you go back and check them out. But one of the biggest things I always said was, when I'd see new people in, I wanted to get to know them, and I wanted to get to know them by name. I didn't want to know them by just like their YouTube channel name or whatever. I wanted to get to know them by name. They weren't just another subscriber. They weren't just another number. They were an actual person. They were an individual. And then once they start building trust with you and they start sending you emails or whatever and stating, "Hey man, I really like, your story, your channel, whatever. I like the way you do your lives. Hey, and you know what? I've battled through this or I've done this." And you start to find out how many people are so relatable to you in some way or somehow, that the struggles they've gone through or what they're going through or what they're dealing with or who they are. Look at it this way, Pittsburgh. When like somebody that has like a huge following, like they're famous, right? Like they have millions of subscribers or hundreds of millions of subscribers or whatever. And they do like something where they like, you see them connect with somebody that's not a celebrity or not on their level or anything like that. But you see these videos every once in a while, you see them where they connect with somebody that's just like a you and I, or however you want to call it. Not really that's the right way to say it, but I'm trying to explain it in the best terms I can right now. And they have such a connection, and they realize like, hey, like my fame or what I can do or who I am is really no different than this person or who this person is, right? And it's the same thing like in my channel, like with my members and everything. Like there's nobody in there unless they're new to the channel. There's nobody in there unless they're new to the channel and they're just starting to come into the channel that won't have the blue wrench, right? That won't be a moderator, if you want to call it that, because nobody should feel like, or nobody should be at a higher level than somebody else. We're all the same, right? We're all the same in one way or another. We all live through our lives each individually differently. We all have different past struggles, bumps in the road, whatever it may be. Some of us have flaws in this area versus this other area. Some of us struggle with a lot of different things. Some of us can't keep a job. Some of us can't save money. Some of us, can't keep food on the table. Some of us, can't keep ourselves in shape to save our lives, whatever it may be. Like we all have different struggles. Some of us are addicted to some kind of chemicals or pills or drinking or whatever it may be. Maybe we're addicted to working out. Maybe we work out too much. Maybe we have like 0% body fat, and if we were to get sick, we probably would die. Like there's ways to look at things like that too. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to get through each and every day, and we're all trying to hopefully better ourselves and better the people around us. And that's ultimately really what I do here. That's what I try to do. That's what I'm about. I'm no doctor. I'm no psychologist. I'm not here to save the world, but I go back to the same damn thing. I say it every time. I may not touch a million people, but I may touch one person that could touch a million, like our boy Mask from Tap Out said. And that's huge. That's powerful. And if I can help one person, maybe they'll have it in them to go and try to help somebody else. So, and see where that can lead to. So, I mean, is that explain it? Is that, I mean, it's the people at the end of the day. It's really ultimately just the people. I mean, I didn't ever build this channel to be a million sub guy or be somebody that was all about clicks and clickbaity
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Absolutely.
me and Guns have done those tricks before. Like Guns literally did a thing one day with his channel and he put like some clickbaity title,
I
like where
remember
it
that.
was like drama, like super
Yeah.
drama, and he got like 3 times the views.
Yeah.
And he
I
said, "You know what's
remember that.
effed up about you guys is like you guys are so cued in and drawn into drama. I got 3 times the views because my title said that it was like some bogus drama stuff, and that's not even what this was. Everybody got fooled into it, but I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to, man. So at least not a Bears fan. I mean, does that sum it up pretty good, or
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Absolutely.
PTSD? I mean, I see George with PTSD. Some people have PTSD. Yeah, and that's just it. Some guy says it perfect. Sometimes it's not about the quantity; it's about the quality of people, and that's really ultimately what it is. I don't need thousands of views. I don't need a million subs. Like whatever I have, I have. The people I have here, I have here.
Yeah.
If I can help impact that group of people, that's all that matters to me, man. Like I don't need I don't you know I'm not somebody who would want to be like known everywhere I go. Like I need somebody that like before you it's like you would be putting you like, hey, what's up? Like, no matter where you go, like somebody want to like have secure and have private, not be have life because people are always telling you haven't had your ads completely secret, like nobody can find out where you're at because you're gonna have paparazzi and we're always trying to do that. That's all I have, man. Sure. I'm losing Pittsburgh here. He's out. I'm lost. I think Boston. But hopefully, she's coming back on. Here it is. All right, there. You there? Back? Okay. No, I got you. You're on.
Okay, cool.
You're on.
Cool.
You're
Awesome.
on.
My tablet runs slow, so maybe that's what it is. And then if I
Oh, you're
get
good,
phone
man.
calls, sometimes it kicks me out. So my bad.
You're good. So, yeah, audio video says a little screwy, but some of our Colts fans, some of us are Colts fans, some of us are Vikings fans, Packers fans, Bears fans, whatever it may be. But other than that, guys, I mean, anything else? I'm probably about ready to wrap this up. I mean, I figured about an hour. We're just a little over an hour. But I mean, Pittsburgh, was that a pretty good explanation? Did I go a little too far with it?
No,
or-
not at all, man. It's just
Okay.
something that it's always been encouraging to me because like in the time I've followed you, man, like I went through a rough divorce and like I come from a similar background too. So like
Yeah.
even somebody who's a fellow creator, like you're touching lives, man, and it means a lot. And
I appreciate it, man. I'm
people-
just, at the end of the day, I just trying to be me, man. Trying to be me, trying to be real. Like again, you guys see, I've been, I'm not afraid to show emotion. I say that emotion is one of the best things we have, and when we have to show it, we show it. Like if there's something that's got us in our feelings, we gotta release it. If we don't and we let it build up, that's when we start to have problems, and that's when you build it up like a time bomb, and then you just explode, and that's not a good thing either. So, some people like to do it behind closed doors. Some people like to do it in the shower. Some people don't have a problem if it gets them in their feelings and they're on camera. It just happens. So, but you're a good pick. Steph's feed was kind of grim. Oh, mine was messed up for a minute. Interesting. All right. Yeah, and guys, Pittsburgh, balls is on you earlier. Pittsburgh, somebody drop Pittsburgh's link in the channel just for playback and stuff too. So you guys can make sure if for some reason you guys are not sub to him or following him, make sure you guys do. I appreciate you taking some time out in California to join me today, man, and be a guest. It's always a pleasure to have you on with me, man. Whether we're talking cards or life or BS or whatever it may be, it really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's always a good time, just like it is whenever we get to hang out actually in person. So, and if any of you guys are ever in California, Hit him up, man. Let him know you're in town. If you're anywhere near Hollywood or any of the areas, Venice. He's not far from Venice either. I think what you said, probably about 40 minutes, right? 50-minute drive.
Give or take
Hour?
with traffic, yeah.
Yeah. Traffic is the biggest key word there because California traffic is way different. It could take you an hour to go like 5 miles, like literally, depending upon what time of day it is and where you're at. So that's the only downside with that. But hopefully you're not driving a lot. So, all right. Yeah. Jacob just put it in there. Texas car collector. Good to see Jacob
Thanks,
in
brother.
the
Appreciate you.
stream as well. Appreciate you, dude. Thanks for dropping that link. Anybody else got any final question or anything before we get off here? Like I said, I want to make this about an hour. Just got to keep an eye on the moment. Love you too, man. Love you too, Balls. Thanks for popping on as always. Make sure you guys check out Balls' channel as well. He's doing his weight loss journey with his sobriety, and it's awesome. He's doing it daily, documenting it. So show him some love. Check out his videos, and I think that's probably about it, guys. Gonna close it out. Love y'all. Have a great night. Appreciate you joining me. Until next time, we'll see you guys soon. Peace.